over the last year. Corey, this should be an outstanding match of two players who fought for the right to go to the North American Olympic trials. They fought on the final day in Greensboro this year. Kanak Jha won that match and proceeded to make the 2016 U.S. Olympic team. Of course, Krish Avvari played in the Youth Olympics prior in Nanjing, China. Two great rivals starting in the mini cadets, both out of Milpitas.
0-2.
I'm going to say right away, Sean, I think this one's going to go 6 or 7. They always do. They know each other's game so well. Really similar games.
3-1.
They both want to try to get their forehand in, but they have steady backhands. They've played each other so much, the serve and return is almost moot at this point.
During warm-up, I noticed that both players seem to be adding a little bit more zip to their forehand drives. I don't think either one is going to opt for being passive or keeping the ball on the table. Very aggressive serving by Kanak Jha, like we saw in his quarterfinal match against Timothy Wong, where he just came out of the gate and went right for Timothy, blowing him out the first game. Really smart play there by Krish, just taking his time, not going for a shot when there wasn't much ball there to go after. In his match against Derek Nye, really showed us a whole new level of experience, and that's a nice turn. Wow. Looked like he stepped in, but then still got around that ball. Now with the serve and a chance to even up this match in the first game at 6-all if he can hold both of these serves. A well-placed serve got Kanak to have to give a second look on that before going for the opening loop. That ball was a little bit forced on the step around.
Kanak did a very good job there, Sean, of getting the flick out real wide, knowing Krish wants to step around when Kanak flicks. He got it real nice and wide there. I thought that ball was going to climb over. It was like the little engine that could, and then it couldn't. Nice drop shot. Nice and heavy.
Lucky break to hit the net, but Kanak took full advantage of it by really reestablishing that strong backhand topspin. Oh, very strong play off the bounce. And now Kanak Jha with 4 game points and the serve. We've seen that, Corey, the forehand loop down the line.
11,
And Kanak Jha takes game number 1 very comfortably at 11-6 after Krish made a small comeback. But there it is, down the line forehand loop.
You can see Krish was waiting over there on the forehand for the reloop. Nice redirection by Kanak. It's one of the things he hasn't really had in the past few months. He's been exclusively taking it cross court. Adding that kind of dimension is going to make his cross court forehand better as well, because people aren't going to be able to wait on it as much.
time. Mr. Jha leaves 1 game to 0.
I think
Mr. Avvari to serve.
Jha did a little bit better job on the serve and the receive that game.
One, 0. One.
Nice redirect by Kanak.
And you can see every time he's gone with that redirect, he's scored. Krish is going to have to do a better job of keeping that receive down. Sometimes this is where Krish has had some problems when not playing particularly well. He gets a little bit too down on himself sometimes, and that can kind of snowball.
That's a nice
That's
forehand.
a really nice flip, really positive kind of point for him when he needed it.
You know, one thing I noticed, Corey, if you just look at their body position during the rallies, Kanak is much lower to the table. Krish still stands up quite a bit. And it seems like when it's time to spin that loop off of underspin, Kanak has so much more on the ball. Forces Krish to go for more winners instead of being able to re-loop it, kind of like we saw Feng Yijun do in his semis and quarter matches. Krish definitely has the speed. Sometimes it seems like on that first forehand loop, doesn't quite have the same amount of spin. You just see Krish standing straight up through most of this point. Once they get into the counter looping rally, oh, that was a nice opening backhand loop there. Kanak really figured out a way of getting that backhand up and over. Krish blocking it off with it at the end of the table. Kanak really just doing the heavy lifting in this game, just fighting for every opening, forcing Krish to have to deal with these topspin initial shots. So 8 game points.
2-10.
To start out strong in this best of 7 match.
Game 2, Mr. John, 11.
Krish not looking to focus on this last ball. Opened up, got the ball he wanted, spun it out to the forehand, but on the high ball, made one big loop, and then had the ball just get above his shoulders. Almost looked like he was happy to get the game over with.
It kind of did look like that on that last shot. Krish better pick up his game. We're going to be out of here in a hurry if he doesn't. These first 2 games weren't all that competitive.
But I will say that Kanak is fighting for every offensive opportunity.
Yep.
Just getting that first loop in consistently, not really allowing Krish to breathe much. Moving the ball around quite well.
Yeah, and he's getting a little more weight behind that first ball now than he was before. Not so easy to just counterattack it. You can see Krish blocking a lot of those balls off the end. That's due to the added spin Canuck's been able to put on the ball. Maybe getting a little bit stronger over the past few months.
Mr. John leads 2 games to 0. Mr. John to serve. 0-0.
Kanak was even ready. That ball had landed. He was already on the forehand side of the table, ready to either re-loop or possibly block that ball to a good location. Just really dictating the action here. Again, nice loop down the line. Just jumped on top of that ball. Krish standing straight up still. And Kanak.
Another redirection. Every time he's went down the line with the forehand, direct point.
That time finally Krish got his own step around going.
1-2.
Little reach there.
2-2.
That was so well done. Kanak just fought for that opening.
3.
Krish made a nice return into the elbow, but more on the backhand side. Kanak just managed to get one more step in. But that last ball was a tad short. Krish made him pay for it with a very strong backhand over the table re-loop.
3-3.
Kanak doing everything he can to keep the spin. That time Krish flattened out the blocks a little bit, added a little bit of pace to the ball. Once again, Kanak getting the better of the forehand to forehand exchange.
4. 5-4.
That time Krish ready for that redirect.
He was
Canuck's got to find that third location, which is, of course, the elbow. Now that he's got him kind of guessing on the forehand and backhand, he's got to start hitting that middle a little bit. Nice patience there by Krish. Not overplaying on the step around.
really didn't Couldn't tell what Kanak was doing on that last ball, whether he was going to loop it off the bounce or block it. Kind of got caught in between. Much smarter move there by Kanak. Jamming the first ball deep, getting a slow ball, turning on it. Krish still had a chance to put it on the table, but he was reaching for the ball.
6-6.
Oh, so smart. Great footwork. Good ball placement. Had both angles at his disposal, but took it down the line that time from the backhand corner. Oh, try to keep a ball short that was a little on the long side. Easy to pop that up. And back and forth.
Let's 7-7.
The next 4 points are really critical for Krish. If he goes down 3-0, it's
8-7.
nice middle there, Sean. And that's that location I was telling you about. Once you get the guy guessing forehand and backhand, that middle's going to be open all day.
And you can see Kanak just getting so nicely below the ball to lift it up. When you can win these little points without having to make a big shot at the end of the game, it just shows that experience. Kanak just so much calmer, willing to let the point present itself instead of going for something that's not there. Krish forcing the action a little bit. Once again, net ball, but well-placed ball that he could have taken in either direction. Now living more on the forehand side since the first few games he was going down the line to the backhand. Ball popped up, nice turn. Nice rotation, and now we have a 3-0 lead for the second seed, Kanak Jha, to try to join his Olympic teammate, Feng Yi Jun, for a chance to win his first men's singles title. Feng would like to defend his, which we saw last year against Mark Hazinski in the finals. So Corey, if you're in Krish's corner, do you change tactics completely? Do you stay with your game?
I think I try to lock him down in the backhand and backhand. Kanak's forehand is too strong for Krish. He's going to have to try to stop Kanak from attacking. Because even when Krish gets the first opening, Kanak's able to kind of get on top of it. It's not really a big problem. I think Krish has to start playing a little bit more of an even balanced style. But I don't know if he's capable of doing that. I mean, he's just getting nothing when he steps around like that, and he's given up so much table position that he has to go for something good, because if he doesn't, the whole table's open on the other side. So
just appears that Kanak's first attack is so much more penetrating and well placed, and he's working harder for it.
2.
Just staying up to the table, willing to take that extra step to get the forehand in. Again, Krish has to take another step to get to that ball. He can't just reach across his body and think he's going to put anything
2-2.
on that backhand opening. Oh, that ball caught the corner.
3-2. Three.
Just a great fight there by Kanak. Serve that jumped up a little bit. Krish played it into the wide backhand. There's a timeout. Krish's corner does not like what they see in this potentially fourth and final game. Good timeout call. Trailing by 1. Not really wanting to see any more distance between Kanak and Krish. Krish just seems to be a little bit flat. Hasn't been able to get anything going. We haven't seen any combo loops, any strong blocks. It's all been Kanak from the first point.
Yeah, the match hasn't been all that competitive so far.
I mean, this has been a combination of a lockdown and a shutdown.
Yeah, and Kanak is just showing that he's, right now, he's
4-3.
a significant level above where Krish is at.
Sorry. 3-5. 4-5.
Well placed by Krish to keep it into the wide backhand. Kanak did everything he could to possibly step around and counterattack this ball. Lobs it up. One more ball. And here comes a step around, but still into the body. Tied up at 5.
Fault.
So the umpire, once again,
5-6.
called it for spinning the ball out of his hand.
That's a tough break. I don't think I've ever seen Kanak spin a ball out of his hand before.
Looked more like it got away from him if it did spin
Yeah. maybe it
versus
was
a conscious effort,
It seemed like more of an errant toss than
right?
a deliberate attempt to spin it, and the umpire not giving a warning. Tough break. Yeah, so strong mentally though, overcame it, got back to business. Really mentally tough. Really mentally tough for anybody, and especially for a 16-year-old. Handled adversity very well there. Didn't let it become a factor.
That was a great drop shot off the serve. Kept all the side spin on the ball. Krish, by the time he touched it, just popped straight up. And again, Canucks feeling the direction that he needs to go so well in the last, I would say, 5 or 6 forehand drives. Just really owning the table, both the short game as well as the openings. That's where the lack of leg strength will get you. Got to be able to loop that underspin chop from an offensive player.
6.
Kanak, it looked like on that last loop he got too forward. He wasn't even able to make a swing on that edge ball.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to take the next one off the bounce.
But it was so deep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Misdirection forehand flip, showing a lot of finesse on that last ball, and now 3 match points.
My 6 or 7 game call, Sean, is in serious jeopardy right now.
That's the 4th or 5th deep push that we've seen Kanak have difficulty with, just kind of stabbing at the ball versus getting in close.
But his drop shot's been unbelievable. I'm happy to see him go with more drop shots, not so much backhand flick. That's kind of the issue he's been having, overplaying the flick, especially because he's a forehand player. You want to be able to play off the drop
Kanak
shot.
Jha will join Olympic teammate Feng Yi-jun in the men's singles final, taking in a very convincing manner 4-0 against junior rival Kanak Jha. I'm sorry, Krish Avvari of ICC. So, Team World Champions Table Tennis Academy taking care of business in a very workmanlike fashion. 11-6, 2-8, and 8.